Today we're going to talk about sleep and the different things that sort of contribute to sleep, and also what you can do to help your sleep. Make any of this stuff that I tell you fit into your world. And what I mean by your world is, I'm a full-time paid professional athlete. This is my world. This is what I have to do in order to, be as good as I possibly can. You cannot tell your wife that you can't, go and get the baby's milk because I tell you that you have to journal 30 minutes before bed. Well, you can, but you have to deal with that. So look, there's different things that you can add to sleep. Sleep is super important because during sleep is when our bodies recover the most. It's where if you start to go through periods of tough sleep, that has a big impact on how much of the training you're absorbing. If you're not absorbing the training, you will not get better. It's during REM sleep and deep sleep. I think it's SWS, it's called sleep. And that's like your deepest sleep. It works in 90-minute cycles. But your deepest sleep is where your body and the muscles recover the most. And so if you're not hitting that deep sleep, very difficult for your muscles. If you're in a bad rut of bad sleep, you'll have just got used to the new norm. So you'll have got used to poor sleep. You'll have got used to how your body feels when you're not sleeping well. You'll have got used to how your psychology feels when you're not sleeping well. Bad ruts are often what you'll get into, and you won't notice it happening right away, but that'll become your new norm. Around the Olympics, so in that was such a little humble brag, but around the Olympian, when I went to the Olympian, anyway, at the Olympics I was sleeping terribly. I think I went through 4 or 5 melatonin per night. The doctors were getting quite sort of concerned and upset. I was in a real bad place. Anyone that remembers back to the Olympics, I wanted to withdraw. I didn't want to be there. I knew I was in a bad place. But I probably believe that sleep not being in a good place, you can't heal. Psychology can't heal, body physically can't heal, but that had became my norm. It wasn't until the doctor that was looking after me was like, Stephen, I gave you and I can't remember how many milligrams of melatonin it was 2 weeks ago. He's like, how's that gone? And I was, taking melatonin down my throat like they were sugar tablets. But it becomes the new norm. So look, sleep, super important. Let's speed things up and say, sleep starts from probably about 2 hours before you're going to go to bed. And I'll rewind and talk a little bit more, but 2 hours before you're going to go to bed, you really want to be calm and life down. And what I mean by calm and life down is you want to avoid, you don't want to be eating Indian food, which is going to get the digestive system going and things like this, like spicy food, and you don't want to eat sugary snacks, which is going to mess around with your blood glucose and throw your energy levels all over the place. Blue light emitting glasses, I definitely had a pair. Oh, that upsets me. They're right here. Just hold on there. Yeah. Of course, they're right next to my bed. So, blue light emitting glasses, and basically what this does is protect your body against the blue light coming off screen devices. And why that's important is because blue light stops secretes the release of melatonin. Secretes the release of melatonin, stops your body's natural melatonin from being released, which can really mess up your cardiac rhythm and cardiac cycle. Cardiac rhythm and cardiac cycle is your body clock. So your body gets on this at 7 o'clock we start to shut things down, and so I start to release melatonin. around about 6 a.m. I start to wake up and I get into this rhythm and this routine. Cardiac rhythm is what makes a mess of jet lag and travel and all this kind of stuff, because your body's like thrown out of whack. That is another really important thing. Keep your sleep routine very similar. If you go to bed at 9 o'clock, go to bed at 9 o'clock. You can always go to bed earlier, but you should always get up at the same time. The body doesn't like when you sleep in. That's actually a really important one, because sometimes you go to bed late and you're like, okay, I'll lie in till like 10 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. And everybody will know that feeling of like feeling hungover almost. It's your body's cycle out of whack, I suppose you could say. Melatonin glasses, you can go and put your pajamas on. So with about 90 minutes to 2 hours to go put your pajamas on. Prep your bedroom so that it's if you if you see my bedroom right now, it is not a place that you'd feel like you want to go to sleep. So the worst thing in the world is when you get up to bed and it's 9:30 and you were pretty tired, and then when you get up there and your bed's a mess and there's stuff everywhere and the TV's on and it distracts you, and yeah, that's not good for sleep. So prep the bed, get it ready, get it, nice and welcoming. And that means room temperature should be lower, and it shouldn't be like an oven. If it's the summer and it's really hot, then get a fan. If you have a fan in your room, put the fan on. You might want to wear earplugs so that you don't hear the fan if that upsets your sleep. Earplugs and eye mask, very, very good. Blackout blinds, very, very good. Very, 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 very good. And it's all really important. So 2 hours before, you've stopped watching like the crazy movies, you've stopped eating the sort of junk food that's going to keep you awake. You might have put on your blue light emitting glasses so that you can still watch like, Planet Earth, which is going to like be relaxing. And you've went and put your pajamas on so that you can just calm life down, and you're getting your body and mind into that sort of sleep cycle. You've prepped your bedroom, it's nice and neat, it's tidy, you've got the room temperature down to a nice level. If you suffer from hay fever, you might want to buy an air purifier for your room. You might want anti-allergenic sheets, anti-allergenic pillows, things like this to stop that messing about with your sleep. Because when I use like a feather duvet or feather pillows, I get a bit chesty, and then that wakes me up in the middle of the night. You're really looking at a lot of things here. Nice pillow, nice clean sheets. All makes a big difference. Simplify your room as much as you can. If you can move your clothes to a closet somewhere else, do that. Keep your room really simple and clean. Right, so now we're at like 9 o'clock, and this is when we're about 1 hour to go to bed, and this is when you can start, some like a little bit of yoga, or like maybe the mobility routine that's in there. And you can journal. Gratitude journaling has been scientifically proven to really, really improve sleep. Also really, really improves happiness, which I don't think any of us would be against, feeling a little bit happier. Be grateful for anything. Be grateful for the fact that I just told you to be grateful. But you can be grateful for anything. You can be grateful for your fish and chips that you had on Friday. You don't have to start complicated. You can meditate. Meditating is really good, and we're going to cover this more in the psychology section, but meditation is a really nice way. There's some really good apps that have like sleep medication or meditation, and they will really help you calm down. They'll help the body just get into a nice relaxed state, and you just feel a bit better. So that last hour can be completely up to personal preference. Whatever starts to help you calm things down and get the body into, I guess, like sleep mode. And then things to avoid is like playing like FIFA on the PlayStation, or news articles or social media, things that might get you riled up. And you go from, oh, I was so tired, to not tired at all, eyes wide awake, staring at the ceiling because you're, pissed off about something. But yeah, so the other things that sort of are linked to sleep, I guess, from a supplement perspective, this is new to me, but I really started looking into the research of like CBD products. We got sent CBD products maybe 18 months ago to Flagstaff, 12 months ago to try, but they weren't informed sport, and so there was a risk. But more recently, with more companies coming out with informed sport products, I've really been able to start using these products and not worry. I don't want to start using a product that really helps me sleep good, but then it's not informed sport, and be stressed about the fact that what if there's something in it. But yeah, you can do your research. I'll put in the notes what I do, what I use, but that can really help. Stress is, wow, stress is the biggest contributor to poor sleep. What you're going through in life in general, at work, and I cannot wait till you guys get to the psychology section, because I'm really going to help with this stuff. But stress, trying to calm everything down, and this is where like journaling's really good. So at nighttime, what you can do is you can just, I remember my grandmother, everything weighs heavy on my granny, and you know, she takes everybody's stress and it loads on her. And so I used to tell her, like, why don't you write things down at night, and write down what's stressing you, you know, write down what you're rehearsing, write down what your brain's gone over, and then right underneath that, I bet if I had a really good night's sleep tonight, I could start working on a lot of this stuff tomorrow. And actually, it's, you know, 9 o'clock at night, there's really nothing I can do about a lot of this stuff. For example, the bank might be shut and whatnot. There's not a lot you can do at 9 o'clock at night, but sleep will really help. So sleep is super, super important. There is a lot of things that, you know, can help or hinder sleep. Stress being, you know, some of the absolute big ones. That nighttime routine, the temperature of your room, the pillows. It's a brilliant investment to invest in a good mattress and a good pillow. I couldn't recommend that highly enough. This is going to sound like terrible, and I'm really not condoning this, but when I share a bed with somebody, I have my own duvet because I get too hot. And so I'm not saying this is what you should do, but it's what I do. And I use a weighted blanket, and so a lot of the time I have my weighted blanket on, and if I'm, you know, sharing a bed, it gets too warm and it gets too hot, and then I don't sleep well. And then this person that might be upset that you have your own duvet, probably going to be upset the next day when you're irritable and pissed off because you didn't sleep good. So not quite going to the length of your own bed, but, you know, maybe your own duvet, or, you know, a duvet each. I tuck my duvet in between my legs, and so it's complicated if I'm sharing a duvet. But, you know, each to their own, and just try things out. You can, if you have a sleep tracking, you know, device, like I use Whoop, and Whoop has like a journal where you can journal some of the new techniques that you've tried, and see if it's something that, you know, you want to add to your own sleep. But, you know, I hope you enjoyed that lecture. But yeah, I hope I'm your favorite teacher ever. And if I'm not, then I just hope you run really fast in your next race because you're sleeping better.